You set up a fortune-telling stall along Cao Cao's escape route, hoping to bluff your way into his camp for a bright future. But that cheap bastard refuses to pay. Annoyed, you block his path. Where is my 50 coin fee? If my prediction was wrong, why did you ask for it? Trying to skip my fee? Fine, Cao Mengde. You are a wanted fugitive, and you still want to stiff me? You sneer, grabbing his arm. Since you won't pay, I'll take it myself. Officers, arrest him. Cao Cao is right here. He is the guy who failed the assassination. Come grab him. Hearing this, Cao Cao's heart instantly sinks. His mind races in panic. He has never met you. How could a complete stranger know everything so clearly? Even his childhood name. Is this really a hidden master? Or a pursuer sent by Dong Zhuo? While Cao Cao panics, several guards rush over and pin him down. You walk beside them with a calm face, ready to collect the bounty at the magistrate's office. On the way, you lean close and whisper with a smirk. See how I handle you? You refused my fee, so I will just take the bounty instead. Cao Cao is speechless. Did this guy really sell him out over 50 coins? Just 50 coins? Was that really necessary? But because of this, Cao Cao actually relaxes. Seeing how money-grubbing you are, you probably aren't Dong Zhuo's man. Otherwise, you would have sent him to Luoyang for a massive reward, not a local magistrate. While the guard goes inside to report, Cao Cao quickly whispers to you, Hero, I'm really not Cao Cao. The fee is in my robe. Take it yourself. Just please speak up for me in front of the magistrate, as expected of the flexible Cao Mengde. You don't hesitate. You reach into his robe, grab the 50 coins, slip them into your pocket, and chuckle. Still denying it? Fine. But lying to the magistrate is a no-go. What if he punishes me? Self-preservation comes first. I can't let others drag me down. You understand, right? Cao Cao's face turns green with rage. Self-preservation comes first. Why does that sound so familiar? Then he remembers. Back when he and Yuan Shao stole a bride, Yuan Shao got caught in thorns, and Cao Cao yelled to the pursuers, the thief is here, just to save his own skin. Karma is a bitch. What goes around comes around. Cao Cao completely loses his fight. Just as he sinks into despair, thinking he's doomed today, your voice rings like thunder directly in his mind. Since you paid my fee, I won't let you die. Don't panic when you see the magistrate. Insist you aren't Cao Cao. When he questions you privately, show your resolve and explain why you tried to assassinate Dong Zhuo. Not only will you survive, but you'll also gain a top advisor. Also, if you hear a blade being sharpened tonight, don't overthink it. They are probably just slaughtering a pig for dinner. You won't die. Cao Cao shudders. A spark of hope ignites in his eyes, so much so that he barely hears your last words. His mind is filled with survival and a top advisor. He turns to ask, only to find you've already waved to the guards and strolled out of the office. He's gone? How did his voice reach my ears? And the guards around acted like they heard nothing. Cao Cao is completely dumbfounded. Dragged to court, the magistrate bangs the gavel and barks, who goes there? I'm not Cao Cao, escapes his lips. It's become muscle memory. The magistrate studies him, waves his hand, and says something that makes Cao Cao's heart leap. He does look a bit like him. Yes, I'm not Cao Cao. My father is just a passing merchant. Cao Cao quickly puts on his disguise, but the magistrate sneers, lock him in the dungeon first. Cao Cao is dragged out and thrown into a cell, growing increasingly puzzled by this magistrate. He neither sent him to Luoyang nor tortured him. Instead, he seemed to be covering for him. Could what the fortune teller said be true? Cao Cao lies in the cell until midnight. Suddenly, the door opens. Someone takes him to the backyard, unlocks his shackles, and leaves. Then, a familiar voice speaks from behind the door. It's the magistrate from earlier. Cao Cao, you have a lot of nerve. I said, I'm not Cao Cao. Cao Cao is still stubborn. The magistrate laughs. Stop acting. Last year, I saw you in Luoyang when I was seeking office. Cao Cao is silenced. The magistrate continues. If you won't admit it, fine. I will send you to Grand Tutor Dong's manor, and we will see. Hearing Dong Zhuo's name, Cao Cao's face turns pale. He finally gives up. Fine, I am Cao Cao. What do you want? Seeing him admit it, the magistrate softens his tone. I only ask why you wanted to assassinate Dong Zhuo. Dong is a rebel, corrupting the court and deposing the emperor. He is a minister in name, but a traitor in reality. I am a servant of Han. How could I stand by? Cao Cao speaks passionately. The magistrate is silent, then asks, If I release you, where will you go? And what will you do? Cao Cao answers without hesitation. Return home. Spend my family fortune. and call upon the lords to overthrow Dongzhuo. Yuan Shao and I grew up together. He will surely answer my call. Good. The magistrate stands up. I, Chen Geng, will abandon my post to follow you and join your great cause. Cao Cao is instantly stunned, almost crying with joy. The roller coaster of life is just too thrilling. Meanwhile, as Cao Cao and Chen Gong begin their desperate escape, you are sitting in a restaurant, happily chewing on a chicken drumstick. You eat with grease all over your face. Just then, a series of system notifications go off in your head. Ding! Congrats. Cultivation tier increased. Ding! Successfully changed Cao Cao's destiny, earning 100 luck points. Ding! Successfully changed Lu Boshi's family's destiny. This earns you 200 luck points. Current luck points, 400. System shop and gacha unlocked. It's finally here. You almost drop your drumstick. The feeling of cultivation increasing is amazing. A warm current flows through your body, completely wiping away your fatigue. You feel incredibly refreshed, looking more like an otherworldly master than ever. You quickly open the system shop and your eyes go wide. It's packed with good stuff. Pills, magical weapons, and even gold bars. A 100-gram gold bar costs just 1 luck point. Oh my god, with 400 gold bars now, you almost laugh out loud. You're rich, extremely rich. Just then, a discounted scroll catches your eye. The legendary general scroll for Dian Wei. It shows his real-time location and status. The countdown has only 3 days left, so it's 80% off exactly. This costs 400 points. There's a tiny note on the scroll. Caution. This guy just killed someone. Truly worthy of his nickname, the evil of antiquity. You calculate. If you want to survive until the realm is unified, having no bodyguard is dangerous. Dian Wei is the #1 bodyguard of the 3 kingdoms. It's a bargain. Bought. You grit your teeth and redeem the scroll. But the next second, you want to slap yourself. The scroll says Dian Wei is located in Zhongmu County. Damn it. You curse the system for scamming you. He's literally in Zhongmu County. With your fortune-telling skills, you would have found him eventually. Did you just lose 400 points for nothing? You vow never to touch these scammy scrolls again. But since you spent the points, you have to get your man. Full in content, you head out to set up your stall. The scroll's effect is active, meaning your chance of running into Dian Wei is 100%. So you simply find a quiet corner to set up, feeling like Jiang Ziya waiting for his fish. Before long, a mountain of meat enters your view. The man is nearly 2 meters tall, covered in bulging muscles like a ready-to-strike beast. He looks panicked, constantly glancing back. He's clearly fleeing from someone. Just as he is about to pass you, you speak up. Your voice isn't loud, but every word is clear. Go any further, and it's a dead end. The giant halts, turning to look at you. Right at that moment, chaotic footsteps echo from the alley entrance. His face pales. Without a second thought, he dives into a nearby haystack. Soon, a patrol of guards runs in, asks you a few questions, finds nothing unusual, and leaves in a hurry. Hidden in the straw, Dian Wei breaks into a cold sweat. If you hadn't warned him just now, he'd be captured by now. How did this fortune teller know the guards were coming? While he's wondering, your voice rings out again, seemingly meant for him. Divining the heavens to guide the lost. Reading yin and yang to help trapped heroes. Accurate predictions. No pay if incorrect. Dian Wei hesitates no longer. He crawls out of the haystack. He walks to you, bows, and says, "Thank you, benefactor, for saving me." You don't even lift your eyelids, just holding out your hand casually. Would you like a reading, hero? How do you do it? 50 coins, no pay if incorrect. Dian Wei is straightforward. He pulls out 50 coins, slapping them onto your stall. Tell me my future. You pinch your fingers, shout true sight, and activate your cultivation to look into his destiny. You suddenly open your eyes, look at Dian Wei, but shake your head with sighs. A pity. What a pity. Benefactor, what do you mean by that? Dian Wei asks urgently. You stare at him and speak slowly. Your name is Dian Wei, from Jiwu and Chenliu, correct? Yes. You killed a local tyrant for revenge, and now the government is hunting you down, correct? Benefactor, you are a god. Dian Wei is thoroughly awed. You twitch the corner of your mouth into a mysterious smile and continue. The realm is descending into chaos. You should have followed a great hero to build a grand legacy. But alas, you'll meet the wrong master. His reckless desires will get you killed in battle, leaving your ambitions unfulfilled. Isn't that a pity? Hearing this, Dian Wei's dark face turns the color of a pig's liver. What? I'll follow some reckless fool and die because of his personal mess? Why should I die for his mistakes? Diane Wei's fists clench instantly. He is completely fuming. He's completely pissed off. Anyone would explode. Just thinking that future generations will label him as the warrior who died needlessly at Wancheng, anger surges inside him. Other people's sympathy is nothing compared to experiencing it firsthand. Dian Wei breaks down, asking you urgently, "Benefactor, can my destiny be changed?" You glance at him, slowly packing up your fortune-telling stall, but speak without hesitation. One who knows their destiny has no worries. What does that mean? Do I have to explain it? This reading is over. Time to leave. Winning Dian Wei over can't be rushed. But you don't plan to leave it at just that. Before departing, you decide to give him one last heavy dose of reality. Next, you plan to seek out Governor Zhang Miao, right? Too bad he won't appreciate you, wasting years of your life. Only then will you join the master who gets you killed. Even if he values you, you'll lose your life within 4 years. He'll have to pay for his absurd deeds. Dying for someone else's foolishness? Does that deserve to be called a hero? Hearing this, Dian Wei's face turns black. He starts swearing in a gruff voice, looking like he wants to drag that future master out and beat him up right now. But at the same time, a storm rages in his heart. How did this benefactor know I was going to join Zhang Miao? Heavens, is he really a hidden immortal? All right, that's all I'm showing you of your destiny. You swing your box onto your back, cup your hands to him, and say, "I've pointed the way. The choice is yours." Remember, destiny can be changed, and fate can be turned. Your path is determined by a single thought. With that, you turn and walk away, taking large, steady steps without any hesitation. Dian Wei is left frozen on the spot, his mind buzzing. Turn your fate around? What a powerful phrase. Your words felt like a thunderbolt straight to his skull. In that case, I'm not going to Zhang Miao's. Going there would just repeat the same tragedy the benefactor warned about. Thinking of this, Dian Wei pulls a recommendation letter from his robe, and without even looking, rips it to shreds. He begged a friend to get it, but now it looks like it's a death warrant. But if he doesn't go to Chenliu, where can he go? Just as he's worrying, a voice rings in his head without warning. "Hey, hurry up and get moving. The guards are back, heading your way." Benefactor. Dian Wei turns around. The next second, he's completely dumbfounded. In front, behind, left, it was completely empty, not a single soul in sight. Yet that voice had been so clear, as if whispered right into his ear. What sorcery is this? It is your ability, of course the secret whisper granted by your system. Highly precious, usable once a day, to handle a beast like Dian Wei. Sweet talk alone won't work. You must use these mystical, godlike methods to strike deep fear into his heart, crushing any thought of resistance. Sure enough, Dian Wei is thoroughly convinced. Ironclad predictions and secret whispers. If you are not a legendary immortal, what are you? Following such a master, why worry? About leaving a legacy? The tiny spark of ambition in his heart was instantly drenched in oil, erupting into a roaring blaze. He recalled the village elders talking about a woodcutter who met chess-playing immortals and lived 200 years just by smelling tea. Following you, living 200 years is a stretch, but earning eternal fame should be possible. He instantly made up his mind. Suppressing his presence, Dian Wei trailed far behind you, quietly following. He calculated that since he was currently penniless and wanted for murder, approaching you directly might be too embarrassing if rejected. He had to find the perfect opportunity to prove his loyalty. Soon, Dian Wei noticed you were choosing desolate, remote paths, heading deeper into the wilderness. Little did he know, you were intentionally creating this opportunity for him. You knew his ultimate goal was Luo Yang, the true grand stage, but the journey was perfect for recruiting this top-tier bodyguard. After traveling for 2 days, Dian Wei was starving, his stomach sticking to his ribs. But a miracle occurred. Whenever he was so hungry he saw stars, he would find flatbread or dried meat you had intentionally dropped. This made him worship you as a god. Finally, the opportunity arrived. 3 suspicious bandits surrounded you. This was his moment. Dian Wei hesitated no longer, charging forward like a furious tiger. The twin halberds in his hands flashed up and down. Amid a few agonizing screams, the 3 bandits were flat on the ground in a blink. With the trouble resolved, Dian Wei strode up to you and dropped to one knee with a thud. His voice boomed like a bell. "Dian Wei pays respects to my benefactor. Rise," you said calmly, walking ahead without looking back. "Luoyang is just ahead, and you are safe. You saved my life. which settles the debt for my guidance. We are even. Diane. Wei panicked, catching up in 3 quick strides to declare his intent. I want to follow my benefactor. There will be no battles to fight if you follow me. You stopped and looked at him. Dian Wei was resolute. Fame and fortune were nothing compared to following a true master, path of greatness. You can leave whenever you wish. You nodded, accepting him. Just then, the system prompt chimed in your mind. Host has altered Dian Wei's destiny, gaining 200 fortune points. Cao Cao's destiny has changed drastically, gaining 200 fortune points. Zhang Xu's destiny changed, gaining 100 fortune points. This play netted you a profit of 160 fortune points, plus Dian Wei for free, an absolute steal. But immediately, another prompt made you frown. Host recruited a famous general. Prestige +1. Warning: if prestige exceeds 5, you will be penalized. Shoot, you almost forgot about this. The system wants you to play it safe, so it won't let you recruit followers everywhere. You checked your stats. Charm 4, Reputation 3, Prestige 4. It seemed only 1 slot remained. Calculating your next move, you led Dian Wei through Hulao Pass. 3 days later, in Luoyang, you set up your fortune-telling stall, with Dian Wei standing beside you like an iron tower. After waiting half the day without seeing a single notable figure, you remained calm. You silently chanted, "See through the past, summon destiny." Suddenly, an officer came swaying over with several soldiers. Business had arrived. With one glance, you saw right through him. Qin Yilu, the famously unfortunate captain under Lu Bu. Qin Yilu was currently filled with anxiety. His eyelid had been twitching all day, signaling trouble. He had just brought his wife to Luoyang, and before he could even hold her hand, Lu Bu dispatched him to patrol the streets. Something felt incredibly off. Looking up, he spotted the arrogant banner at your stall. What bold claims! Without even raising an eyelid, you calmly muttered, "Ironclad predictions, insight into all affairs. Believe and it exists, doubt and it does not." To deal with this paper tiger, you had to strike a grand pose. Oh? Qin Yilu was indeed intrigued. How do you read fortunes? You snorted coldly, packing up your stall without a word. This made Qin Yilu anxious. Just as he tried to step forward, Dian Wei's mountain-like body blocked him. Qin Yilu's courage shrank by half. What is wrong with you? I want a reading, and you give me attitude? Do you really want a reading? You finally glanced at him sideways, asking slowly. After this sequence, your master persona was firmly established. Yes, please advise me, sir. Qin Yilu became respectful. What do you want to read? Marriage. A grown man suddenly acted bashful. There was no helping it. His lady at home was too stunning, and he secretly worried he couldn't handle her. You scoffed. Didn't you just marry a beauty and bring her home? Qin Yilu froze on the spot. Apart from Lu Bu, barely anyone knew about this. This fortune teller, you did not give him time to react, continuing to bombard him. Your name is Qin Yilu, a captain under Lu Bu, originally from Yunzhong. Just a few days ago, you were a common soldier guarding the gates, correct? Yes, yes. Sir, you are divine. Qin Yilu was utterly shocked. But in the next second, your face darkened. Leave. I cannot read this fortune. Why? Why would Lu Bu favor a common gatekeeper? Do you really think you are extraordinarily gifted? Your voice grew cold. I am just a fortune teller. I do not want trouble, and I certainly do not want to provoke Lu Bu. Hearing this, Qin Yilu's heart skipped a beat. How could a simple reading offend Lu Bu? Sir, please do not go. Qin Yilu panicked, kneeling before you with a thud, begging through tears. Please guide me, sir. I will pay 100 times the fee, 5,000 coins. This was enough for you and Dian Wei to live well. You finally, reluctantly turned around, pointing at his head. Look at yourself. I fear there is trouble at home. Your wife has been intimate with another. You rolled your eyes. To tell you the truth, disaster has already struck your household. If you do not handle it now, the consequences will be endless. Qin Yilu's mind buzzed. He instantly understood that you were warning him of something terrible. His face turned pale, and he spun around to run home. But you grabbed him. You haven't paid the fee yet. Besides, if you go back now, can you beat your superior? Before things get out of hand, think of a strategy. Please advise me, sir. Qin Yilu was completely convinced this time, sweating profusely. A superior who could cuckold him, who else could it be but Lu Bu? Going back with his weak frame would be suicide. Standing with your hands behind your back, you spoke mysteriously. It is simple. Pretend you do not know. Bring your men to your door and shout loudly. The person inside will naturally slip away quietly. But this only treats the symptom, not the root cause. If that person still desires her, how do we fix the root? Divorce her. Your voice was cold, like passing a sentence. Your destiny cannot handle this marriage. Keeping her will only bring ridicule and the threat of a fatal disaster. Qin Yilu's cold sweat had already drenched his clothes. He obediently paid the fee and rushed home with a squad of soldiers. From far away, he began to shout at the top of his lungs. I am back. Inside, Lu Bu, who was groping Lady Du, heard Qin Yilu's voice, and his face instantly darkened. Glimpsing the squad of soldiers outside through the window, he panicked. If word of this got out, how could he lead his troops? Lu Bu immediately slipped out the back door, but he did not go far. Once Qin Yilu dismissed his men, Lu Bu returned with a dark face to confront him. You to patrol. Why did you run back? Qin Yilu looked at his unharmed wife and breathed a sigh of relief, but his pride flared up. Steeling himself, he questioned. The general ordered me to patrol. Why then are you in my home? I came to see if you were doing your duty. Can I wait here? Lu Bu was utterly arrogant, his eyes continuously darting toward Lady Du. Terrified, Lady Du shrank behind Qin Yilu, whispering, Husband, the general clearly came to disgrace me. So what if I did? Lu Bu tore off his mask, sneering at Qin Yilu. Qin Yilu, do not be ungrateful. This woman, you haven't even touched yet. Give her to me, and I will secure you a bright future. Qin Yilu trembled with rage. Suddenly he remembered. Incredible, the young master's calculation was indeed correct. He even foretold you would say this to me. What young master? Lu Bu frowned. Qin Yilu explained his encounter, in full detail. Hearing this, Lu Bu's eyes filled with shock and doubt. Can there really be someone in this world who could calculate what I, Lu Bu, wanted to do today? He even knows the real reason I promoted Qin Yilu? Come, take me to see him. Lu Bu suppressed his killing intent, grabbing Yilu. A moment later, at the East Market, Lu Bu made Qin Yilu hide. He changed into plain clothes, adjusted his attire, and strode to your stall, saying in a deep voice, I want a reading. You looked up and waved him away impatiently. You are not here for a reading. You are here to settle a score, aren't you? How did you know? Lu Bu blurted out, a storm raging in his heart. Exposed in just 2 words. I also know your name is Lu Bu. You are upset about your private affairs being exposed. Yet fear I possess divine abilities, so you came under the guise of a reading to test me. As you spoke, you gestured to Diane. Wei. People like this lack sincerity. Pack up the stall. Sir, wait. Lu Bu's loud shout startled even you. Than just a 1-2. Turning around, you saw the absolute mightiest warrior of the 3 kingdoms drop to one knee before you. Sir, Lu Bu is convinced. I sincerely beg you to read my fortune. Lu Bu kept his posture extremely low, pulling a large string of copper coins from his robe and placing them respectfully on the stall. Fine, seeing your sincerity. You stretched out your fingers, pretending to make calculations, then suddenly burst into laughter. Congratulations, General. Congratulations. Your future is extraordinarily bright. Hurry back to your manor to receive it. Good fortune is fleeting. If you are late, your promotion and title might slip away. After speaking, you packed up your stall and walked away with Dian Wei. Lu Bu froze. Once he realized, he sprinted toward his manor. Just as he reached the gate, he saw Dong Zhuo's chief advisor, Li Ru, walking out, looking incredibly pleased. Feng Xian, you have returned just in time. Li Ru smiled and bowed. The Imperial Preceptor has petitioned for your promotion to General of the Household and Marquis of Duding. Divine. Truly divine. Lu Bu was ecstatic, but his expression soon turned serious. After seeing Li Ru off, he immediately gave a strict order to his most trusted subordinates. Quickly, even if you have to dig up Luo Yang 3 feet deep, you must find that master for me. You returned to the inn, but felt something was off. It seemed Qin Yilu and Lu Bu's destinies hadn't budged at all. You didn't get a single fortune point. This made no sense. What was going on? There was only one explanation. Qin Yilu went home, caught Lu Bu alone with his wife, and didn't dare utter a single peep. You were completely speechless. Even if he didn't dare fight Lu Bu, taking his wife and leaving was still an option. Or if he couldn't do that, divorcing her would work too. No, you couldn't let your day's hard work go to waste. Just then, news came that Lu Bu's men were searching for you. Coincidentally, you were also eager to find Qin Yilu to settle the score. Without a word, you grabbed your fortune-telling banner, dragged Dian Wei, and rushed out. Thus, The two parties ran right into each other at the entrance of Qin Yilu's alley. Sir, Lu Bu pays his respects. Lu Bu was incredibly enthusiastic upon seeing you, his face covered in smiles, almost kneeling down. He had just been appointed general of the household and Marquis of Duding, enjoying a flourishing career. What shocked him even more was that, even he had not known about the rumors, yet you had calculated them perfectly in one go. This was truly a living immortal. How could he dare offend someone like you? Although you despise this fellow who coveted his subordinate's wife, one does not slap a smiling face. So it is General Lu, you replied calmly. You certainly dare to love and hate. Lu Bu's smile stiffened slightly upon hearing this. He knew you were mocking him, seeing a beauty and immediately acting on it, even envying his adoptive father's women. Looking at him, an idea flashed in your mind. If you could cure Lu Bu of his lustful habit, wouldn't you earn another massive fortune? You jest, sir. I still wish to receive more of your guidance. Lu Bu kept his posture extremely low. This is no place to talk. I hope you will grace me with your presence and visit my manor. However, you shook your head. No need. I came to find General Qin. There are a few words I must say to his face. Let's speak at his home. Very well, very well. Qin Yilu, lead the way. Lu Bu quickly smiled, reaching out to support you. You lightly sidestepped to avoid him. General Lu has just been promoted, so you should go to the Imperial Preceptor's manor to express your gratitude. No need to see us off. Your tone was flat. Your fortune has been read, and the fee paid. Between us, we are all ready. He doesn't get that things are already settled. Lu Bu stops in his tracks. He can tell you don't want him following you, but he's a suspicious man. The more you hide, the more he wants to hear. So, the moment Qin Yilu leads you and Dian Wei inside, Lu Bu quietly flips over the wall, slipping into the yard without a sound. He crouches under the paper window, eavesdropping. The second you step inside, Qin Yilu drops to his knees with a thud. Master, what else do you command? I'll risk 1,000 deaths. If not for you, his home would be ruined. You stay silent for a moment, then sigh. General Qin, your trouble isn't over yet. Your wife is destined to bring disaster. I sent you home today hoping you'd sever this root of ruin, but you're too afraid to cross Lu Bu and too soft-hearted to divorce her. Your fate hasn't changed a bit. Qin Yilu turns pale with shock. Master, is divorcing her really my only option? Mark my words, you can't keep this woman. In the end, she'll only end up with some other man. Your tone suddenly shifts, turning freezing cold. Of course, that person won't be Lu Bu. If he doesn't change his ways immediately, he has a few years left to live, at most. Just as you finish, a loud crash rattles the room. The paper window is flung wide open. Who goes there? Dian Wei roars. A dark figure tumbles right through the opening, landing in a perfect, desperate kneel. It's Lu Bu. Master, please save me, he begs. Why do I only have a few years left? Sweat pours down his terrified face. Seeing him, you fly into a rage, your voice turning to ice. I was not reading your fate. How dare you eavesdrop on my prophecy? Lu Bu, do you really think being the world's greatest warrior exempts you from the consequences of your actions? Lu Bu is utterly petrified. Right then, your eyes narrow sharply. You glare at him, delivering each word like a heavy blow. You dared to eavesdrop and violated the rules of prophecy. Within 3 days, your mind will rot with unease, and your body will waste away. Let's see you play the hero then. You aren't just bluffing, you instantly activate your absolute decree ability. Though your cultivation is still low, making a man sick for a few days is child's play. You turn on your heel, leaving with Dian Wei without looking back. The second you depart, Lu Bu feels the entire room spin. If Qin Yilu and a rushing Zhang Liao hadn't caught him, he would have collapsed right there. When Yuan, Lu Bu gasps, grabbing Zhang Liao's hand. He's dripping with cold sweat, his voice trembling violently. You absolutely must get the master to save my life. Before he can finish, his eyes roll back and he blacks out. The courtyard erupts into chaos as Qin Yilu and Zhang Liao scramble to carry him out. As they carry him away, no one notices a graceful woman slowly stepping out from the inner room. Her long hair cascades down, her face clouded with deep sorrow, her gaze utterly lost. Lu Bu is bedridden. The peerless warrior of his era was struck down just for eavesdropping and defying the laws of prophecy. In the blink of an eye, he became too weak to even stand. A scandal like this couldn't be kept quiet, and the news reached Dong Zhuo immediately. What? What happened to my son? Shocked and furious, Dong Zhuo rushed to Lu Bu's manor overnight with Li Ru. Where is he? Dong Zhuo roared, bursting into the bedroom. He finds Lu Bu pale as paper, staring blankly from his bed, needing to be spoon-fed broth. Where are the physicians? Bring every imperial doctor from the palace here right now, Dong Zhuo screams in a fury. Beside him, Gao Xun mutters quietly, Grand Preceptor, they've already checked him. They're completely stumped, they said. The general's pulse is perfectly normal. It's some kind of bizarre curse. Father, Lu Bu croaks weakly from the bed. My son, what is it? Dong Zhuo rushes to his side. Father, you must find that master. Only he can save me. Lu Bu blubbers, tears and mucus running down his face. I don't want to die like this. Fine, fine. Who is he? What does he look like? Don't just stand there. Go find him. Dong Zhuo roars, waving his sleeves at the guards. Zhang Liao immediately leads his men out. Just then, Qin Yilu steps forward, kneeling as he gathers his courage to speak. Grand Preceptor, I fear the master is angry over the general's offense and won't help. Today he read my fortune. He only saw the general once, yet knew his name instantly. He even predicted you would bestow titles on him today. Dong Zhuo is stunned. He really possesses such miraculous powers? He turns to Lu Bu. My son, is this true? It is absolutely true, father. Lu Bu whimpers. Dong Zhuo looks back at Li Ru, who steps forward with a bow. My lord, this man truly seems to possess extraordinary abilities. Have you forgotten that Zhang Jiao of the Yellow Turbans also had bizarre, mystical schemes? If this man truly has the power of absolute decree, we must make him serve you. However, you must treat him with great respect to win him over. Recalling the terror of the Yellow Turbans years ago, Dong Zhuo cools down instantly. His attitude shifts completely. Guards, he barks, ordering them immediately. Spread the word throughout the city. Find his residence, but only observe. Do not disturb him. I will visit him in person. Just like that, the name Li Ye echoes through Luoyang overnight. Meanwhile, you and Dian Wei are resting in separate rooms at the inn when a system prompt suddenly rings in your head. Host has gained 10 reputation points. Current reputation is 13. Congratulations, your reputation has reached a new tier, boosting your cultivation. You have gained 6 charm points. Current charm is 10. Congratulations, your charm has reached the level of ethereal grace, enhancing your appearance and presence. Instantly, you feel a profound change inside your body. Your cultivation surges. The skin on your arms and chest turns incredibly smooth, yet your muscles become more defined, radiating an inexplicable power. The next morning, Dian Wei stares at you in your new Taoist robe, his eyes nearly popping out. How did my benefactor become so handsome overnight? That floating aura makes you look like an immortal stepped out of a painting, but you know exactly what is going on. You are famous now, thanks to Lu Bu. Dong Zhuo definitely knows about you, but you aren't rushing. You haven't claimed his luck yet. Today, you will open for business as usual. What if Dong Zhuo knows? You don't care about him at all. You take Dian Wei to set up your stall at the Eastern Market. After waiting just a short while, a carriage suddenly stops before you. A sweet fragrance drifts out as the curtain moves, and a crisp voice speaks. Master, can you read someone's fortune on their behalf? Absolutely not, you reply, shaking your head. Her voice is incredibly sweet. If you wish, my lady, you can leave your address and I shall visit you. But can't you just divine my name? The woman giggles, clearly testing you after hearing of your exploits. Just then, a commotion breaks out at the end of the street. Someone screams that the Zhiliang army is coming. I must go, the woman inside says, her voice tinged with panic. Thinking quickly, you step forward and speak to the carriage window. Please leave a personal item, and I will find your home later. Before she can finish, the driver cracks his whip. A light blue handkerchief flutters out from a gap in the curtain. In that brief instant, you catch a glimpse of her face, devoid of makeup but utterly breathtaking. Her hair cascades like silk, her skin is flawless, and her features are perfect. Her eyes are remarkably clear. You pick up the handkerchief, which still carries her sweet scent. Embroidered in the corner is the character Kai. Your lips curl into a smile. It is indeed her. What a stroke of luck. But before you can celebrate, the Zhiliang army arrives, clearing the streets and scattering the crowd. They form a battle line. Dian Wei immediately steps in front of you, glaring at the soldiers with murderous intent. You, however, remain completely calm and unmoved. Soon, an even more luxurious carriage arrives. A massive man, nearly 6 feet 3 and weighing over 200 pounds, steps down, accompanied by a companion. Next to him is a man in a green robe waving a fan. You must be Master Li Ye. I am Dong Zhuo. Forgive me for disrupting your peace. Seeing you, Dong Zhuo actually bows and introduces himself, keeping his posture humble. Yet you don't even blink. staring at him in dead silence. Dong Zhuo instantly feels awkward. To ease the tension, Li Ru quickly steps forward. Master, the Grand Preceptor came specifically to ask for a reading. A reading? You finally speak, your voice cold and indifferent. Heaven's secrets cannot be easily revealed. Within 7 days, I only performed 5 readings. I did 2 before arriving and 2 yesterday. Only 1 remains, and I have already promised it to someone else. You begin packing up to leave. Dong Zhuo panics. Master, I have come in person with utmost sincerity. Since there is 1 reading left, why not grant it to me instead? Presumptuous. You snap, raising your voice. Do you expect me to break my word? If my promises mean nothing, how can I command fate and guide the world? You are intentionally playing hard to get. You know that with a man like Dong Zhuo, the more distant you act, the more desperately he will crave your help. Master, wait, Dong Zhuo pleads, trying to stop you, but you ignore him completely, walking away with Dian Wei. The Ziliang soldiers all turn to Dong Zhuo. He looks frustrated, yet dares not unleash his rage. Li Ru whispers into his ear, and Dong Zhuo's eyes light up. He waves his hand instantly. Do not trouble the master. Master, safe travels, Dong Zhuo calls out. I sincerely seek your guidance. Please tell me when I may visit you. Without looking back, your voice echoes from afar. Let us meet at the Marquis of Duding's manor tomorrow. I know you are anxious about your general's illness. Though he brought it on himself, I bear some responsibility. Once I rest tonight and restore my cultivation, I will purge the illness for him. Dong Zhuo stands frozen in shock. Only after you are far away does he turn to Li Ru in utter disbelief. When you, just as you predicted, this master is a true immortal. He can actually cure Fenxian. Waving his fan, Li Ru's expression turns grave. I fear the general's illness was caused by his hand in the first place. My lord, this man is nothing like Zhang Jiao. His extraordinary aura suggests a powerful background. We must not offend him. Yes, absolutely. Dong Zhuo nods repeatedly. Then Wenyu, what should I ask him to divine? My future or my fortune? Li Ru's eyes gleam. My lord, do you remember what I told you about dethroning the emperor? Meanwhile, having handled Dong Zhuo, you are in a great mood. Since it is still early, you pat Dian Wei's shoulder. Come on, Dian Wei. Today I am taking you to a nobleman's house to feast. Kai Yang is a renowned scholar, and his estate is easy to find. By noon, the 2 of you arrive at his gates. Dian Wei, usually silent, suddenly speaks up. Benefactor, someone is following us. Dong Zhuo's men. Ignore them, you say. You wave your hand, knocking on the door without a care. An elderly maid opens it and looks you up and down. Absolute decree, a worry-free future, you say, showing your banner. Tell your master I am here. I was asked by someone in this household to perform a reading. Soon a distinguished gentleman steps out. Are you the one who read the fortune of the Marquis of Duding? I am, you reply, asking in return, and you must be Master Kai Yang? Yes, indeed, Kai Yang nods, bursting into laughter. My daughter was reckless to trouble you to come here. Please forgive her rudeness. It seems your fame has already spread through Luoyang's elite circles. Please, enter, he says. Once you are seated inside, Kai Yang serves wine and meat, testing you with a smile. Master, as a holy man, do you abstain from wine and meat? Meat passes through the throat, but the Tao remains in the heart, you answer calmly. Suddenly a soft laugh echoes. From behind the screen, Kai Yang's face turns stern. Zhaoji, we have an honored guest. How can you be so rude? Come out and greet him. A woman steps out with graceful, light strides, the very same lady you glimpsed in the carriage. Seeing you, she hides a smile, finding your wit truly delightful. Greetings, master, she says, bowing to you. Your eyes widen. So this is Kai Wenji. She is indeed stunning. But as you recall her tragic future, you find yourself letting out a heavy sigh. Master, why do you sigh upon seeing my daughter? Kai Yang asks quickly. To be honest with you, you begin. Composing your thoughts, you speak slowly. Just now, I quietly calculated the fate of you and your daughter. You deliberately leave the sentence unfinished. Master, please speak freely. You will be fully compensated, Kai Yang says, immediately presenting a tray of coins. You look at them, but do not touch them, sighing even deeper. Never mind. I will only take 50 coins for this reading, you finally say. Please keep the rest. Use it to find a remote forest retreat for your daughter, and stay far away from this dangerous place. Master, what is the meaning of this? Kai Yang gasps, while Kai Zhaoji is utterly stunned. Her father is highly valued by Dong Zhuo. How could disaster strike? Meeting their anxious gazes, you speak plainly. This disaster begins with Dong Zhuo. Master, you are famous and respected, but ever since Dong Zhuo started showing you such high regard, what do you think the imperial scholars whisper? Have you distanced yourself from him, master? Kai Yong thought and nodded heavily. Indeed, the root of your doom lies right here, you continued. With your character, if Dong Zhuo falls and the court faces chaos, when everyone lists his crimes, will you still speak up impartially and refuse to kick him while he is down? Your words essentially asked if Kai Yong would defend Dong Zhuo after his fall, just because Dong Zhuo treated him well. Before Kai Yong could answer, Kai Zhaoji beside him nodded vigorously. She knew her father was exactly that kind of man, of person. While Kai Yong was still trying to lecture you, you grew impatient. Master Kai, if everyone reasoned like you, we would be fine. You interrupted him, shifting the tone to strike the core. But unfortunately, not everyone has a brain. Let me put it this way. In the future, you will be labeled an accomplice just for sighing over Dong Zhuo, dying a humiliating death in prison. Your doom comes from your mouth. Nonsense. I stand tall and will never do anything unjust. Kai Yong fumed with rage. You did not even care, your gaze piercing like a knife straight into Kai Yan behind him. Whether you die does not matter, but your foolishness will kill your son, leaving him fatherless, and ruin your daughter, forcing her to wander through war, only to be captured and tortured by the Xiongnu. How is that possible? Kai Yong was completely enraged. Zhaoji is about to marry into the Wei family of Hedong. They are a prestigious clan. How could she suffer such a fate? The Wei family of Hedong? You sneered, looking as if you had just heard a massive joke. Kai Yong's heart skipped a beat. Sir, what do you mean? You did not let him finish his nonsense, dropping a bombshell. That boy was always sickly and died long ago. The Wei family hid the news, waiting for you to send your daughter over for a ghost marriage. They counted on you, Kai Yong, being a stubborn, face-saving old fool. Even if you find out the truth, you will just swallow your pride. You cling to your principles, but the result? Your daughter will be a widow for life, without ever seeing her husband's face. Kai Yong looked as if struck by lightning, dumbfounded, his mind completely blank. How could this be? The Wei family is a scholarly house. How could they do something so wicked? Impossible. He refused to believe it. Roaring toward the door, he yelled, Kai Zhang, get over here! Take men to the Wei family immediately. You must see Wei Zhongdao yourself. Take extra men and ask around. Once you have news, return immediately. Yes, master. The butler, Chai Zhong, scrambled away with several guards. Meanwhile, Chai Yan already believed 80% of your words. How could you be wrong? The thought of the Wei family maliciously tricking her into a lifetime of widowhood filled her with lingering fear. Tears welled in her eyes, and she could only look helplessly at her father. Kai Yong remained silent, his chest heaving violently. Finally, he spat through his grit teeth. We wait. If Wei Zhongdao is truly dead, this marriage is off. If the Wei family dares to push, I, Kai Yong, am not to be trifled with. Hearing this, Kai Yan breathed a sigh of relief. But then she remembered the other thing you said, and her heart plunged. If she was destined to be captured by the Xiongnu, she would rather die now. She knew what falling into the hands of those savages meant. Just as she resolved to die rather than submit, your voice drifted over, reading her mind. Men die for integrity. Women die for chastity. Master Zhaoji, you did not die when captured because you could not bear to leave your father's carriage of scrolls. You did not want his life's work to vanish. You shifted your tone, adding with admiration. Later, you recreated most of it from memory. You truly are a legendary, brilliant woman. I, Li Ye, admire you. What? Zhaoji, you can reconstruct my books in my study? Kai Yong's attention shifted instantly as he stared at his daughter in shock. Kai Yan was also stunned, forgetting to answer. How did you know? She indeed just wanted to die, but when you mentioned her father's classics, that unyielding pride in her heart was instantly replaced by pain and reluctance. If it came to that, she really could not bear to die. Compared to preserving heritage, what did personal reputation matter? Her gaze shifted from shock to deep awe, until Kai Yong called her name once more, snapping her back to reality. Her face flushed crimson. Heavens, she had actually stared at a man in front of her father. Father, what did you say? She wished she could sink into the floor. Write down a few scrolls from memory right now, Kai Yong said solemnly. Yes, she replied. Soon, brush and ink were ready. Kai Yan knelt at the desk, writing swiftly in elegant strokes. Kai Yong nodded repeatedly, excitedly pulling you to admire it with him. Unwittingly, dusk fell, until the loud growl of your stomach broke the silence of their deep absorption. Their absorption. Ah, my apologies. I was so focused on Zhaoji's writing that I lost track of time. Kai Yong smacked his forehead in regret. You cupped your hands. No worries, I was captivated too. Master Zhaoji's writing is as elegant as she is. It is late. I must take my leave. Please, do not go. Kai Yong quickly stopped you. Luoyang is under curfew, and those Ziliang soldier thugs patrol the streets with no reason. Why not stay here? He immediately ordered servants to prepare food and wine. In his heart, he already viewed you as a true, enlightened sage. Even he did not know his daughter had this talent, yet a first-time visitor like you knew everything. This was pure divine calculation. Besides, my servant should return soon. I must ask you to guide us father and daughter. Since his words hit the mark, you nodded. Then I shall trouble you. Trouble you. Right after dinner, the butler, Kai Zhong, rushed back like a gust of wind. Well? Kai Yong asked eagerly. Master, the Wei family refused to let us in. They claim the groom went to Wancheng. With the wedding just half a month away, why go there? Moreover, our men asked around the alley. The Wei family closed their doors for 7 days recently. Someone heard crying in the courtyard and saw ashes of burnt paper money drifting out. Hearing paper money, Kai Yong gasped, collapsing onto his mat. The next second, he bounced up, his old face turning purple with rage, trembling all over. He cursed furiously, looking as if he wanted to dig up 18 generations of their ancestors. How dare you, Wei family, deceive me like this? I will write an expose immediately to denounce your wicked deeds to the world and call off this marriage. We are calling off the engagement. Kai Yong roared, rushing into the study to write. Meanwhile, Kai Yan felt the heavy stone in her heart finally drop, feeling incredibly relieved. She instinctively looked at you. Meeting your gaze, you gave her a playful, reassuring wink. That look of yours seemed to say the real show was still ahead. Kai Yan quickly got the message. After Kai Yong left, she deliberately stayed behind, pretending to be in shock. Soon, only the two of you remained in the hall. Master Zhaoji, do not celebrate too early. You spoke first in a quiet voice, cold as ice. Avoiding the Wei family does not mean you have escaped the coming wars. Your fate has not truly changed. Kai Yan turned pale, hurriedly bowing to you. Please guide me, master. How can I change my destiny? You did not keep her waiting and answered directly. You must leave Luoyang within a month. Do not go to Chenliu either. War will break out there soon. You must avoid all conflict to survive. Your straightforward fortune-telling style, giving direct solutions instead of riddles, made her believe you completely. But the world is vast. Where can I find peace? She asked the crucial question, one that stumped you. In the late Eastern Han, the Central Plains was a boiling pot of blood and war. Where was truly safe? Seeing you shake your head, Kai Yan's eyes dimmed. Is my fate truly unchangeable? She asked with a trace of despair. Is it so hard to protect my father's work and find a peaceful home? The Central Plains is a messy chessboard. Soon, Luoyang will be a sea of fire. I will leave too, you sighed. I can only drift with the tide to survive. Surprisingly, your helpless words rekindled a spark of hope in Kai Yan's eyes. She pressed, when do you plan to leave? 3 to 5 days at the earliest, half a month at the latest, you replied. Boss Tao was already gathering troops back home, and the 18 lords would soon attack. Then where do you plan to go? She stared at you. Seeing your hesitation, she challenged, if it is inconvenient to say, then I will accept this as my cruel fate. She turned to leave, looking completely dejected. Wait, you said, finally, making up your mind. I have not fully decided, but I will likely head to Yuzhou first. Yuzhou? Kai Yan stopped, realization dawning. Since you could foresee the future, your destination must be the only sanctuary from war. Following you was her only way out. A night passed. Kai Yong, the legendary scholar, unleashed absolute fury. He stayed up all night writing a 10,000-word expose denouncing the Wei family's shameless, deceptive marriage scheme. From ancestral bonds to current treachery, his scolding was so ruthless it practically dug up their ancestral graves with his pen. Once published, the essay swept Luoyang, sparking massive public outrage. Everyone backed Kai Yong, dragging the Wei family's name through the mud overnight. Kai Yan's marriage was successfully called off. Yet you could not celebrate. Your fortune value had not increased by a single point. This meant the doom of Kai Yang and Kai Yong was not truly broken. With Kai Yong's stubborn temper, he would still die alongside Dong Zhuo. The only hope lay in your talk with Kai Yan last night. Leaving the residence, you took Dian Wei straight to Lu Bu's mansion. The mansion's plaque was brand new. The gates were heavily guarded, led by a formidable general. Master, you are here. Seeing you, the general bowed respectfully. I am Gao Shun. Ah, Gao Shun. You nodded, getting straight to the point. How is your marquis? Sir, the marquis is aching all over, suffering terribly, and constantly begging for your mercy, Gao Shun replied. Just then, a luxurious carriage flanked by hundreds of armored guards rushed up. The door opened, and Dong Zhuo's massive body tumbled out. Seeing you, he immediately bowed deeply. Master has come to heal Feng Xian. How dare you leave him waiting outside? Dong Zhuo lashed out at Gao Shun, then turned to you with a flattering smile. Please, master, come inside. You did not hesitate and followed him. After just 2 days, Lu Bu on the bed had grown thin, his eyes sunken with dark circles, looking like a ghost. Seeing you, he scrambled out of bed as if seeing his savior. Master, I was wrong. Truly wrong. Please, spare my life. Marquis, you did not offend me. You simply should not have eavesdropped on my divination, and paid the price, you said indifferently. Yes, yes, Dong Zhuo quickly intervened. Feng Xian, how could you eavesdrop on divinations? Pay the fee immediately. Master, is 10 taels of gold enough? You sneered inwardly. Dong Zhuo was indeed incredibly generous. You did not waste words, telling him to lie down. This illness was just your curse. Even Hua Tuo could not cure it, but lifting it was easy. You reached out and tapped Lu Bu's head 3 times. Lu Bu only felt your palm resting on his skull as a sudden jolt of electricity ran through his body. He dared not move, fully believing that if you gripped with force, you could crush his skull. The first strike was freezing, the second hard as iron. With the third, a hot wave erupted from your palm, instantly filling the room. Dong Zhuo and Li Ru watched, dumbfounded, barely daring to breathe. Was this even human? You withdrew your hand. Lu Bu leaped out of bed, feeling completely revitalized, even more energetic than before. Thank you, master. Thank you, adoptive father. This time, Lu Bu was completely submissive, his eyes filled with terror. Quick, prepare a banquet. At the feast, you did not hold back. Grand Tutor, today I will perform at most 7 divinations for you. Excellent. Dong Zhuo was overjoyed. Bring 3,000 gold coins for the master. It takes a carriage just to haul all that copper. You have Dian Wei take it, then look at Dong Zhuo. Li Ru speaks up for his lord. Master, is there any disaster coming? And the answer arrives right on cue. You pretend to calculate with your fingers and say loudly, Cao Cao failed the assassination and fled home. He is spending his fortune to recruit an army. Soon, 18 warlords will unite to crush you. Dong Zhuo and Li Ru turn pale. Talk about perfect timing. Just as you speak, a messenger comes tumbling in with urgent news. What is the screaming about? Can't you see I'm talking to the master? Dong Zhuo roars. Terrified, the soldier stammers. Grand Tutor, urgent news. Yuan Shao is using the emperor's decree to rally. 17 armies to destroy you. Dong Zhuo and Li Ru freeze, looking at you like you are a literal god. They just started rallying men over there, and you already knew it far away in Luoyang. Master, how do we stop this? Dong Zhuo begs. Wait, didn't you say 18? The last one is just 3 heroes. You will see. You shake your head. Grand Tutor, your fate is hard to change. But your real downfall is not them. Then what is it? Lust is a blade over the head, you say with a knowing smile. Do I need to spell it out? Dong Zhuo's face turns bright red with pure embarrassment. Master, do you mean I need to give up women? He asks. You nod. Not completely. But you must never touch a strange woman again, or disaster will strike. Otherwise, doom awaits. Do this, and you might survive. If you can actually keep him from touching Diaochan, the history of the 3 kingdoms is going to get wild. You wonder, if you save Dong Zhuo and keep Luoyang from burning, how much fortune points will you get? Just thinking about it makes you excited. Dong Zhuo suddenly slaps his thigh and swears, Pass the order! From now on, block any strange women from coming near me. If any are sent, reject them or kick them out. Now you are talking, you think. You gloat in your heart. The beauty trap is officially dead in its tracks. Getting those fortune points is guaranteed. You look at Dong Zhuo with slightly less pity. Master, will this do? He asks eagerly. An order is just an order. Controlling oneself is a different story. You curl your lip and speak bluntly. Exactly. Dong Zhuo slaps his thigh and roars. When you remind me of this daily. I am staying away from the palace tonight. Yes, my lord. Li Ru bows. Then, The old fox's eyes shift as a thought hits him. He leans in with a smirk. Master, now that my lord's mind is at ease, could you read my fortune as well? You glance at him. He looks decent, but his heart is filthy. You wave him off. No rush. I think this general looks pretty fierce. Let him go first. Your gaze passes Dong Zhuo, landing on a bearded giant behind him. The master knows me? The giant steps forward, looking like he just won the lottery. General Huasheng is indeed a fierce warrior. You show off a bit by naming him directly, making him grin with excitement. He glances back at Dong Zhuo, then steps forward with a bow. Master, please read my fate. What a shame, you shake your head, sighing. Fierce, but your life is short. You lean in and speak rapidly. Let me ask you, when the 18 armies arrive, will you be the first to volunteer? Of course. I serve the Grand Tutor to win glory. Huaxiang beats his chest proudly. Good. When you reach Sishui Pass and face Sun Jian, the tiger of Jiangdong, will you hide in fear? Sun Jian? He is nothing to me. Huaxiang scoffs. Fine. When you reach Hulao Pass, will you challenge their entire coalition? Obviously. My martial arts are second only to Marquis Wen. The rest are just trash. One last question, you say, staring into his eyes. What if you meet a man with a red face, a long beard, and a giant crescent blade? Would you be afraid? Dong Zhuo and Li Ru are baffled. They have never seen a fortune teller ask so many questions. Their eyes lock onto Huasheng like searchlights, making it impossible for him to back down. Afraid? Why should I care about some guy with a long beard? Fine, you do not bother arguing. You turn to Dong Zhuo. Grand Tutor, at this rate, General Hua has 3 months to live at most. Better start planning his funeral. Huasheng instantly explodes in rage. His knuckles pop. Warriors have muscles for brains, always easily triggered. But Dong Zhuo glares at him, and Huaxiang instantly deflates, stepping back grumpily. Dong Zhuo quickly bows to you. Master, forgive him. He is just a brute. If what you say is true about General Hua, you wave your sleeve, cutting him off. I have read his fate. If he does not believe it, why waste words? I am tired. We are done for today. Master, wait. Li Ru, the old fox, quickly blocks your path and roars at Huaxiang. Huaxiang, drag him out and give him 30 lashes. Dong Zhuo actually nods, letting guards drag Huaxiang away. Li Ru turns back to you with a slimy grin. Master, please, you must read my fortune now. Seeing this, you know you cannot escape. What do you want to know, you ask? Please, master, tell me where this came from. Li Ru pulls a short dagger from his robes. Your eyes narrow. You know exactly what it is. Isn't this the 7-star dagger Cao Cao tried to stab Dong Zhuo with? You keep a calm face while your mind races. Should you tell him the truth? If you do, Wang Yun is dead. Honestly, you do not even like Wang Yun. Sure, killing Dong Zhuo is good, but when Wang Yun took power, he ruined everything, hastening the Han dynasty's end. Still, he cannot die yet. If he dies, what happens to Diaochan? The master is indeed legendary. Li Ru says, his eyes gleaming as he presses you. Where did this dagger come from? Looking at him, you realize this guy is sharp. He probably suspects something. Then, you have an idea. You play along, grabbing the dagger. Divining the history of an object is a first for me. You have stumped me. Leave the dagger with me. I will take it back, calculate, and give you the answer tomorrow. Li Ru nods immediately. Luckily, they trust you completely now. You take the dagger, but do not go back to your inn. That night, you and Dian Wei slip away to Minister Wang Yun's estate. You are here to find him. After ensuring no one followed you, you have Dian Wei knock on the door. Who is it? A butler asks. Tell him the master is here, Dian Wei grunts. Master? Oh, master, please wait. The butler rushes inside. Moments later, Minister Wang Yun runs out, taking quick, frantic steps. Once he sees your face, he gasps, Are you Master Li? He rushes forward. What an honor. Please, come in. You step into the main hall and look around. 2 words. Pure luxury. It is leagues ahead of Kai Yong's place. To what do I owe the honor of this late visit, master? Wang Yun asks once seated. You drop a massive bombshell. Minister, do you know that doom is upon you? Wang Yun turns pale. Your reputation in Luoyang is legendary. Even Lu Bu suffered at your hands. He dares not doubt you. Please, master, save me. Wang Yun begs, waving his hand. A servant brings a tray of gold, a massive fortune. You have Dian Wei, take it. Then say slowly, Minister, why not invite me to the back hall for a chat? Wang Yun freezes. How did you know about his secret room? Shaking, He quickly leads you inside. Inside the secret room, he locks the door and bows. Master, you are a god. Only myself and Cao Cao knew of this room. Is that so? You interrupt. You know that too? Wang Yun stammers, completely losing his mind. You do not answer, but slowly pull a dagger from your sleeve. Wang Yun is scared out of his wits. Step by step, you walk to the wall, locate the hidden compartment, and place the 7-star dagger securely inside. This? How? Wang Yun trembles, his voice shaking. Master, where did you find this? Today, I read Dong Zhuo's fortune, you say. His advisor, Li Ru, brought out this dagger. You state the fact calmly. Master, save my life. Wang Yun collapses, falling to his knees before you, his old bones shaking like a leaf. He knows that since you came here yourself, instead of sending Dong Zhuo's army to raid his estate, there is still hope. Minister Wang, you are a loyal servant of the Han dynasty, you say. Yes, yes, Wang Yun nods frantically. But you are also its greatest curse. You shift your tone. What? Wang Yun gasps, refusing to believe it. You sneer, let me read your future. Yes, you will successfully plot to kill Dong Zhuo and leave your name in history. Joy flashes across his face, but your next words freeze his smile instantly. But afterward, you will seize power, become corrupt, and ruthlessly slaughter loyal officials, trying to wipe out the Western Liang army. You will force them to rebel, destroying the capital and sending the emperor fleeing. You personally ruin the last of the Han's destiny. Tell me, are you not a curse? Wang Yun collapses, drenched in cold sweat. Everything you said is exactly what he would do. In an instant, he seems to age 10 years. I will change your fate, you say, helping him up. I can cover up the dagger issue, but I need one thing in return. What is it? Wang Yun gasps, clutching at this lifeline. A woman in your estate named Diaochan. Wang Yun freezes. A woman? He stammers. Master, you are joking, right? Is a woman worth taking such a massive risk for me? To him, she is worthless. True. You smile. Then let us add 3,000 logs. Wang Yun sighs in relief. 3,000 logs is easy. Seeing his smug face, you decide to raise the price. Make it 5,000 logs, 300 craftsmen, 1,000 gold worth of iron, and a massive 3-courtyard estate in the city. Enough? Yes, plenty. Wang Yun's face instantly falls. He looks like a piece of his flesh was carved off. This will easily cost him over 100,000 coins. I will wait for the good news then, you say, standing up. Wang Yun quickly escorts you out, shouting, Fetch the singer Diaochan from the backyard, to pay her respects to the master. Soon she is brought in. Are you Diaochan? Look up, Wang Yun says. She raises her face. Heavens, the dim hall instantly brightens. Her beauty is absolutely breathtaking. Even Wang Yun is dazed, regretting his bargaining. If he knew she was this gorgeous, he would have never bargained, wasting 100,000 coins. Minister Wang, regretting it? You glare at him. Rules are rules. Want to become the next Lu Bu? No, idare not. Wang Yun shivers, telling Diaochan, from now on, follow the master. Be loyal and protect your master, understand? Yes, father, Diaochan softly replies. She turns to pack her things when you remember to collect your fee. Wait, you call out. Come here, let me read your fortune. You do not care about others, but your own people must be fleeced. Thank you, master. You look at her. Your fate is tragic, wandering for half your life with endless hardships, ending in a lonely old age. This is the true future your insight skill reveals. How tragic. After reading, you stretch out your hand. 50 copper coins, please. Come with me, and I will change your destiny. Are you willing? Who would say no? Diaochan is willing, but she stares at you, speechless. She is about to work like a slave for you, yet she has to pay you 50 coins. Pay him quickly, Wang Yun urges. Do you not know the master's rules? No payment brings a curse. Wang Yun is completely relieved. A cursed fate of endless wandering? He would not take her for free now. His old bones cannot handle that. Once Diaochan packs her bags, Wang Yun even puts on a fake. Wang Yun gave him 10 caddies of silver for travel expenses, though you know that money will end up in your pocket anyway. Leaving the Situ's manor, you take Diane Wei and Diaochan back to the inn. On the way, the patrolling Ziliang soldiers spot you, and local fortune tellers run faster than rabbits. Did you see that? The girl next to the master looks like a goddess. Shut up, do you want to die? Forgot what happened to the others? Listening to the soldiers' gossip, Diaochan steals glance after glance at you with her wide, watery eyes. Once at the inn, you tell the host, get us another room. Right away. But as soon as it's booked, You turn to find Diao Chan staring at you, her eyes pooling with tears. You can't help but chuckle. What's with the tears? Master, why won't you let Diao Chan serve you in bed tonight? That completely throws you off. Since when do people request this? You cough dryly. Who said following me means you have to sleep with me? But didn't Minister Wang tell you? She stammered, trying to explain. That if the master refuses our service, it means he dislikes us. Ah, a false alarm. Still, having her in your bed? Who could resist that? But just as you're about to give in, Dianwei's stomach lets out a massive, thunderous growl. What are you doing, summoning lightning? You glare at him. My lord, I think I upset my stomach, Dianwei says, looking completely innocent. Minister Wang's food was just too good. I ate 8 massive bowls. Then get going already. You shoo him away, laughing and shaking your head. The interruption cools you down. Sleeping together without genuine connection is just going through the motions anyway. Who told you that following me means you're just a servant? You give Diao Chan a warm smile, turn, and step into the courtyard. The innkeeper is standing there, sighing and shaking his head. Guest, those 2 upstairs have checked out. Which room would you like? They left? You ask. Yes, business is brutal these days. You nod thoughtfully. Suddenly the innkeeper approaches, cradling a handful of copper coins. He drops to his knees with a thud. Master, please, read my fortune. This is all the money I have left. I can't survive anymore. You pull him up. Looking at this honest peasant, you feel a spark. You're a decent man. Forget the fortune, you say slowly. I'll hand you a business. Want in? What business? His eyes light up. You say 3 words. Sell wooden tubs. Sell tubs? The innkeeper is baffled. You smile, looking at him like he's the future richest man in Luoyang. Don't underestimate this trade. Soon, every single household in Luoyang will be scrambling to buy massive wooden tubs, especially the wealthy estates. Your name is Niu Laosan, right? The innkeeper freezes. Since arriving in Luoyang, everyone has just called him host. Nobody knows his real name. Master, you truly are a god. There's nothing to think about. Master, Niu Laosan is at your service. Hearing him call you master doesn't spark much in you. In times of war, a title is just a title. You simply nod and head inside without further chatter. Diao Chan follows closely behind, her gorgeous eyes locked onto your back, completely bewildered. If you don't want her as a slave, what on earth is she supposed to do? She can't wrap her head around it. Distracted, she takes a step and bumps her forehead right into your broad back. Ah, she gasps, not from pain, but pure shock. You spin around, leaving the 2 of you inches apart. You catch the panic in her eyes and instinctively ask, You okay? You point to the room across the hall. Your room is over there. Diao Chan is completely stunned. No beatings, no yelling, just genuine care. Growing up, even at Minister Wang's manor, she was just a pretty object to be bartered away. She's never been treated like a human being. She stands frozen, speechless. If you're good, get some rest. Good night. Seeing her spaced out, you feel the exhaustion hitting. You turn, step inside, and shut your door in one swift motion. Giving a massive stretch, you head to bed. This ancient era has no phones or internet, so what else is there to do but sleep? Outside, Diao Chan lingers for a long time. She raises her hand, then lowers it, wanting to knock but hesitating. Finally, she turns and walks away. Lying in bed, she has only one thought running through her mind. My new master is so strange. Meanwhile, Dianwei isn't having such a peaceful night. He went too hard on the rich food at the Situ's manor and spent basically the whole night in the outhouse. The next morning, you take one look at him and gasp, how did you turn into a giant panda overnight? You stare at his massive dark circles. He mumbles, too embarrassed to speak. Let's go. Time to head back to the Situ's manor. You order. Dianwei's face drops instantly, and he vigorously shakes his head. No, please, Lord. I can't go back. Seeing his miserable state, you decide not to push him. Fair enough, you muse. There's no need to go in person. You instruct him instead. Have Niu Laosan send an employee to the Situ's manor under my name. Tell Wang Yun to skip finding a workshop and just deliver all the timber straight here. Dianwei is ecstatic, feeling like he just got a royal pardon. He'd die right at that dining table. Niu Laosan is quickly summoned and bows deeply to you. Master, the runner has been sent. What are your next orders? You toss a banner to him. Hang this outside the inn and take down the sign. Tell everyone that I'm showing great mercy, offering free fortune-telling to the common folks. If I'm wrong, it's free of charge. In this era, free is the ultimate crowd puller, especially with your reputation. Sure enough, the second word spreads. The inn is absolutely packed. People are crammed so tightly they are spilling into the courtyard. Dian Wei, make them line up, you command. Relaxing in your room. Behind the screen, Diaochen quietly tends to the incense burner for you. Dian Wei plants himself at the door, his towering 6'3" frame looking like a brick wall. He bellows at the crowd, "Stop pushing," the master says. "If you want a reading, get in line." One by one, form a straight queue. In the crowd, a few wealthy heirs in fine silk try to slip in, pushing to the very front. The first to step inside is dressed like a humble scholar, but a second later, Dian Wei grabs him, like a wet chicken, and flings him out, sending him face first into the dirt. The master said, "This is for the common folk. You think you're worthy? Get out." Dian Wei's roar leaves everyone's ears ringing. The crowd freezes in shock, then erupts into cheers and applause. "Get lost." Trying to trick him? The master sees all. Did you really think you could fool him? Who knew our peasant status would become a VIP pass today? At this moment, the poor feel, for the very first time, a sense of dignity in being commoners. Usually they are treated like dirt. But today, those wealthy nobles have to pretend to be peasants. Dian Wei's "Are you worthy?" spoke directly to their souls. It feels incredibly satisfying. Hearing this, the other wealthy imposters in line turn pale. They quietly slip out of the queue. After all, this master is someone who stood up to Grand Tutor Dong and Lu Bu. What are they compared to that? Nobody wants to find trouble here. The readings officially begin. The first peasant steps inside, trembling and completely lost. "Zhang San?" you ask calmly. "Yes, master, that's me." The man is so terrified. He drops straight to his knees. "You've been committing petty thefts, and it's about to bring you serious trouble." Your words terrify him. His thievery was so secret, even his wife had no clue. "How could you possibly know?" "Master, you're a god. Please help me. I have a family to feed." He begs, kowtowing frantically while crying. Outside, you've made it clear that you only see commoners today. Any wealthy nobles trying to pay for a reading are instantly blocked by Dian Wei's booming. The master is busy, leaving them completely empty-handed. Inside your room, you look at the trembling Zhang San, your voice calm. "I'm not a constable. I won't arrest you. Your wrongs are not unforgivable." Then, your tone shifts. "In 3 days, line up here to buy a large wooden tub. Once you get home, you must fill it to the brim with water, river water, or rainwater. Just keep it full. At the critical moment, this water will save your family's lives. Keep this to yourself. If you leak a single word, you are on your own." "I understand. Thank you, master," he scrambles out. Watching his retreating back, you whisper to yourself. His house is completely bare. A rundown shack and a tub are enough. You call out, "Next. Li Si, is that you?" As the eldest son, you neglect your elderly mother. Disaster is heading your way. Within a month, your family will perish. "Master, save me," Li Si whimpers, terrified. "Well, in 3 days, line up here to buy 4 large wooden tubs. Just like that, all day long, your most repeated line is telling people to buy wooden tubs, swearing each one to secrecy. You've pre-sold over 3,000 tubs already. Minister Wang's response is also incredibly swift. 300 craftsmen arrive the same day, and 500 logs are delivered to you. You have blacksmiths make iron bands to reinforce the tubs, boosting efficiency. Yet, by sunset on day 2, they've only finished 500. On the 3rd day, these 500 are snapped up instantly. Niu Laosan earns a commission of 10 coins per tub. In just 1 day, he clears 5,000 coins more than his inn makes in a month. He is grinning ear to ear. Soon, a bizarre sight fills the streets of Luoyang. Men chuckling as they roll massive wooden tubs home, refilling them bucket by bucket, pouring water inside. Naturally, word of this reaches Dongzhuo. But at this point, the coalition hasn't forced his hand to burn down Luoyang yet. He's still reluctant to destroy this ancient capital. Still, he remains alert. On the 5th night, Li Ru pays you a visit. "Master, you serve. The public and the Grand Tutor is deeply grateful. It has been 5 days, so he sent me to visit." Li Ru is incredibly polite, his words flawless. Exhausted from a long day, you cut straight through the pleasantries. "Does the Grand Tutor have something to ask?" Li Ru's eyes flash. Finally, he shows his true colors. The Grand Tutor is curious about the origin of the 7-star dagger. "That annoying blade again. You're prepared for this and pass the buck immediately. That dagger belongs to Minister Wang Yun." Li Ru's eyes narrow into a dangerous glare. Meanwhile, across the city, Wang Yun, who is currently running around securing your timber, lets out a massive sneeze. His right eyelid twitches violently as a sudden wave of dread washes over him. Back in your room, seeing the murderous look in Li Ru's eyes, you quickly add, "But I already investigated. Minister Wang admits it was his, but says it was stolen during a banquet. Based on the residual energy of the room, I traced it to one man." "Who?" Li Ru presses. "Surely you aren't going to say Cao Cao stole it?" "No," you shake your head. "It was Wu Fu." "Wu Fu?" Li Ru frowns. "He was executed for trying to assassinate the Grand Tutor. If he stole it, why didn't he use it?" "That's where Cao Cao's brilliance lies," you say, counting on your fingers as you begin your performance. "Wu Fu was urged by Cao Cao to steal it, and Cao Cao orchestrated his strike." "Cao Cao Mengde, I get it now." Before you can even finish, Li Ru slaps his thigh, looking utterly enlightened and deeply shaken. "This Cao Cao is incredibly cunning. He purposely had Wu Fu use a normal dagger to distract us, making us think the threat was minor. Then he feigned surrender to earn the Grand Tutor's trust, planning to strike with the treasured blade when we least expected it. He is absolutely ruthless. I must inform the Grand Tutor immediately." You watch in silence as Li Ru connects all the dots himself, crafting a plot even more sinister than you had originally imagined. Without you saying a single word, Cao Cao is thoroughly framed. "Master, farewell." Li Ru bows and hurries out. Watching his back, you laugh helplessly. You literally said nothing. What a clever guy. Over the next few days, the readings continue, for a few more days. Today, however, an unexpected visitor appears in line Du Xunyang. You stare at this still charming woman, completely stunned. "Why is she here?" "Master, I am here for a reading," she says, her voice thick with sorrow and despair. "I only read fortunes for the common folk. You are Qin Yilu's wife. Please leave. You don't want to get mixed up in her karma with Lu Bu, lest it ruin your own fortunes." "Master, look at this." Du Xunyang pulls a letter from her robes, raising it with absolute determination. "It is my divorce papers." "Divorce papers?" You freeze again. "With just one word from you, master, he cast me out. You ruined my future. In this vast world, I have nowhere else to go. If you refuse to take me in today, I'll end my life right here." "Whoa, stop." You panic. Why is everyone so dramatic? But you know the truth. If word gets out that he will ruin Qin Yilu, nobody will ever hire him. He is cornered, risking his life to force your hand. Outside, the crowd is whispering, "Sir, take him in. He is a poor soul." "Yeah, let him stay. He can at least serve tea." With the crowd pressure mounting, you look toward the screen. Right there, you meet Diao Chan's tearful eyes. "Seriously?" She is moved too. "Fine, you can stay." You sigh. Hearing this, Du Xunyang falls to her knees, sobbing in gratitude. Right then, things get even crazier. Qin Yilu squeezes through the crowd, carrying a gift. He rushes in and drops to his knees. "Sir, thank you for your grace. Here is a gift to celebrate you taking my wife. Please accept it." This move completely blows your mind. His wife finds another man, and he brings gifts to thank him? You can only marvel at how bizarre these ancients are. Qin Yilu keeps crying, calling you his savior. Annoyed, you wave him off and tell him to get lost. Then, your mind explodes. System alerts flood your head. Host read Qin Yilu's fortune, altering his fate. Gained 200 luck points. Lu Bu's fate changed. Gained 100 luck points. Du Xunyang's fate changed. Gained 200 luck points. Cao Cao's fate changed. Gained 100 luck points. And it does not stop there. Qin Lang, Cao Lin, Cao Gun, and Princess Jingxiang's fates are erased. Host receives all their luck points. 1,960 in total. Heavens. You almost gasp out loud. These four are all Du Xunyang's future children. Now that she is by your side, their entire lives are rewritten, and their luck points are all yours. It suddenly clicks. You glance at Du Xunyang's stunning figure, and a wild idea takes root in your mind. You need to leave Luoyang and hit Jizhou. Rumor says the Zhen family has 4 sisters. If you can help them dodge their tragic fates too. You flash a knowing smirk and yell toward the door. Dian Wei, next. 10 days flash by. Meanwhile, Dong Zhuo's son-in-law, Niu Fu, returns with a wagon of beauties to win favor. But Dong Zhuo loses his temper and orders them all sent back. News of Dong Zhuo going celibate shocks Luoyang. Your luck points skyrocket again, gaining another 1,000. Yet, oddly enough, Lu Bu's fate has not triggered any system updates. You are puzzled. Will he still end up killing Dong Zhuo anyway? Before you can figure it out, Wang Yun shows up. He drops to his knees instantly. Sir, I have a secret imperial decree. Please come to the palace. To read the emperor's fortune. You think about Liu Xie, that puppet emperor. Reading his fortune changes nothing, and will only make Dong Zhuo suspicious. It is not worth the risk. So you flat out refuse, Minister Wang. You cannot even change your own fate, let alone the emperor's. Our paths have not crossed yet. Please leave. Sending Wang Yun away, you tell Dian Wei to pack up. The 17 coalition warlords are marching on Hulao Pass. The real show is about to start, and you need to go. With Diao Chan, Du Xunyang, and piles of cash. You get ready to slip away. But there is one last thing. That night, Dian Wei pulls a carriage up to Minister Kai's estate. Inside, Kai Yang holds his daughter Kai Yan's hand, his face grim. Zhaoji, my mind is made up. Go with the master, and escape this war. I must stay. As a minister of Han, I have duties to fulfill. Thus, you ride your horse alongside Dian Wei, escorting 3 carriages slowly out of Hulao Pass. Before you, 2 massive armies face off under extreme tension. The battlefield of hundreds of thousands of men is dead silent. You are the only moving thing in this wasteland. This bizarre sight draws every single eye like a magnet. Up on Hulao Pass, Dong Zhuo paces like a madman, palms sweating. The master, the rebels will not hurt him, will they? He is my future grandson-in-law. Beside him, Lu Bu grips his sky-piercer halberd and steps forward. Adoptive father, let me lead 3,000 riders to rescue the master. Feng Xian, think carefully. There are hundreds of thousands. Out there, you are going to your death. Lu Bu screams so hard his veins bulge. Even if I die, I will keep him safe. Fine, ready your men. Dong Zhuo waves his hand, deciding, over in the coalition camp, a scout scrambles in, his voice cracking with panic. Reporting. Coming out of Hulao Pass, 2 riders and 3 carriages. Yuan Shao leans forward from his high seat. What do you mean, 2 riders and 3 carriages? No troops? Not a single soldier. Is Dong Zhuo begging for peace? Yuan Shao looks around. Beside him, Yuan Shu sneers, but Cao Cao's eyes narrow like a hawk spotting prey. He barks at the scout. Who is it? Did you see his face? I do not know him. The leader is a 17 or 18-year-old. Next to him is a giant built like an iron tower. No armor. Oh, and the giant is not holding a weapon. He is just carrying a banner. What banner? The illiterate scout cannot say. Ben Shu, I will go check myself. Cao Cao's curiosity is fully piqued. Riding into battle without weapons? This is completely unheard of. Cao Cao gallops to the front lines. He takes one look and freezes, as if struck by lightning. Master, you are barely 100 paces away, and coalition soldiers are closing in. Cao Cao roars at the top of his lungs. Fall back. All of you. Anyone. Who offends the master will be executed. The soldiers are stunned, trading blank stares. Then, something even more mind-blowing happens. Before hundreds of thousands of troops, Cao Cao leaps off his horse, rushes over, drops to one knee, and bows deeply. Master, it is really you. It is me, Cao Cao. Thank you for your guidance last time. Sitting high on your horse, you look down and say calmly, Cao Mengde, we meet again. You wave for him to rise, but he is too excited. He rushes forward and personally takes your horse's reins. Up on Hulao Pass, Lu Bu is speechless. Wow, as expected of the master. Even a warlord like Cao Cao kneels instantly. Dong Shuo mutters, the master knows Cao Mengde. Meanwhile, Yuan Shao is losing his mind. He knows exactly who Cao Cao is. To make him kneel and lead a horse? Who on earth is this guy? Yuan Shao and his generals rush out of the camp. Mengde, who is this? Cao Cao introduces you with excitement. Ben Chu, this is the master I told you about. You must have heard of Master Li Ye in Luoyang. Yuan Shao's uncle is in Luoyang, so he has definitely heard of you. He freezes, then quickly bows. So you are the legendary master who sees through all of heaven's secrets. My deepest apologies for any disrespect. Please, come inside. But there is always an idiot. Yuan Shu, Yuan Shao's arrogant brother, treats everyone like dirt. Seeing you a commoner with no title or armor receive such deep respect from Cao Cao and Yuan Shao, his blood begins to boil with jealousy. He sneers and points at your carriages. Hold on. A mere fortune teller traveling with such a massive escort? What is in those wagons? Gonglu, shut up. How dare you? Yuan Shao and Cao Cao turn pale, but Yuan Shu does not care. He wants to humiliate you. He wants to put you on the spot. Everyone stares, waiting to see how you will handle this. But you calmly dismount, take the banner from Dian Wei, and laugh. And here I thought it was someone important, just a skeleton in a grave. You hit him with his least favorite insult. Yuan Shu's face turns green. Before he can even react, you bark like a clap of thunder. Yuan Shu, you block my path, unaware that disaster is at your doorstep? You pose here, yet you should be figuring out how to face Sun Jian, the tiger of Jiangdong. You cut off his supplies, costing him his general Zhu Mao. He is furious. Instantly, Yuan Shu's flushed face turns paper white. Right on cue, a scout runs up and whispers in his ear. Yuan Shu shudders, his eyes widening in pure panic. Is this true? Absolutely. Sun Jian has stormed into our camp with his troops. Fall back. Yuan Shu panics, turning around and fleeing with his men in utter humiliation. The remaining warlords stare at each other, their eyes filled with shock and awe. Their fear. Inside the tent, you are seated in Yuan Shu's vacant spot, treated with utmost respect. Thank you for the warning, master. I hope Gonglu makes it back in time, Yuan Shao says with deep reverence. I hear you charge for readings. Here are 300 gold pieces for him, and another 300 to predict our coalition's future. You chuckle and sip your tea. The fate of hundreds of thousands is only worth this much? Bring 500 more gold pieces. Yuan Shao commands without hesitation. Cao Cao smiles. We will each chip in 100. Soon, 2,000 gold pieces pile up before you, glittering so brightly that Dian Wei's eyes pop. You set down your cup. The coalition will breach Hulao Pass today. 12 words for 2,000 gold. Yet, Yuan Shao and the others look overjoyed. Excellent. Bring wine. Yuan Shao cheers. Wait, Cao Cao says, staying calm. He bows and asks, Master, Hulao Pass is heavily guarded by Dongzhuo, and Lu Bu is invincible under heaven. I am afraid. You smirk and sneer. Who says Lu Bu is invincible? Yuan Shao immediately chides. Mengda, with the master here, why fear Lu Bu? Back in Luoyang, he could take Lu Bu's life with a mere word. But Cao Cao disagrees. The master is beyond this worldly realm. He would not fight himself. Who under heaven could command him? Everyone looks back at you. You shake your head. Lu Bu did not offend me. I have no reason to act. However, you pivot with a smile. If you want to defeat him, are not the heroes already standing right here? Just then, war drums thunder outside. Report. Lu Bu is outside challenging us. Yuan Shao stands and roars. Which hero dares face him? Instantly, a general charges out. The scout returns. Dead in 3 passes. Another general rushes out. Within 2 minutes, the scout runs back in. Dead in 1 pass. The atmosphere in the tent freezes. This time, the white-robed Gongsun Zan rides out. Taking advantage of the brief lull, Cao Cao quickly turns to you. Master, please tell us what to do. I only read fortunes. I am not a military strategist. You smile, but your eyes bypass him, landing on 3 obscure figures in the corner. Cao Cao follows your gaze, instantly catching on, and steps up to introduce them. Xuande, bring your brothers to greet the master. Liu Bei, Guan Yu, and Zhang Fei step forward. You ask, want your fortune read? 50 coins per person. Liu Bei respectfully hands over the money. Master, how is the destiny of our Han dynasty? It has not run out yet, you say. You look at him. Our fates are linked. We will meet again. Guan Yu steps up. Can I slay Lu Bu? No. Before Zhang Fei can speak, you look directly at him with a smirk. Your question is the same as your second brother's, right? Zhang Fei's eyes go wide as saucers. How do you know about my brother? Cao Cao quickly chimes in. Yide, the master knows everything. You laugh out loud, your voice booming across the tent like thunder. I already know how to defeat Lu Bu. Yide, you go first. You will not lose within 50 rounds. Then, Yun Chang, you join. Finally, Xuande, you jump in too. 3 heroes fighting Lu Bu. This battle will make the 3 of you famous throughout the land. Go. Just as you finish speaking, Gongsun Zan retreats in absolute defeat, gasping for air. Lu Bu is unstoppable. I am no match. Before he could even finish, Zhang Fei roared with excitement, charging out with his 18-foot serpent spear. Hold it, you triple bastard. Zhang Fei of Yan is here? Gongsun Zan was utterly stunned. Everything on the battlefield was playing out exactly as you predicted. Zhang Fei fought for 50 brutal rounds, holding his own. Yuan Shao was about to rejoice at your brilliant foresight. Hang on, third brother. Guan Yu galloped out. Together, they battled LV Bu for 30 rounds. Seeing LV Bu falter, Liu Bei drew his twin swords and charged. Brothers, I'm with you. War drums thundered as Yuan Shao roared at the top of his lungs, ordering an all-out assault. The drums shook the heavens. Fighting 3-on-1, LV Bu finally broke, turned his horse, and fled. The coalition forces seized the moment, surging toward Hulao Pass like a massive tide. The entire course of this war was completely rewritten by a single word from you. And this was exactly what you wanted. You needed Dong Zhuo to fall even faster, leaving him zero time to prepare for burning Luoyang. Up on Hulao Pass, Dong Zhuo saw the end was near. Escorted by LV Bu, he fled in panic toward Luoyang. His advisor Li Ru caught up, pleading, "My lord, the rebels are too strong. We must move the capital to Chang'an to avoid this onslaught." To Chang'an? Li Ru leaned in, lowering his voice with a sinister look in his eyes. "My lord, the officials and commoners are our biggest obstacles. If they refuse, let us burn Luoyang to the ground. That way, the emperor, the court, and every citizen will have no choice but to follow us." Hearing this, Dong Zhuo thought, this was an incredible deal. 3 massive benefits for 1 dirty deed. He immediately ordered his generals to torch the palace, seize the emperor and his court, and force everyone west. Meanwhile, consumed by hatred for the Yuan clan, he ordered Yuan Wei's entire family executed on the spot, hanging their heads at the gate. Instantly, the ancient capital was swallowed by raging flames and desperate cries. In the streets, a man named Zhang San watched his home catch fire, collapsing in tears. "Heavens, we are doomed." But his wife slapped his back hard, snapping, "Stop crying and start fighting. Help me put out this fire." "How can we fight a fire this big? Did you forget the giant water barrels the master made us prepare?" Her words snapped Zhang San awake. "Right, the master." He leaped up and bolted to the backyard. That night, while the imperial palace burned uncontrollably, countless citizens saved their homes thanks to your advance warning. When the flames were finally put out, Zhang San, Li Si, and the other survivors looked toward the east, the direction where you had departed, and fell heavily to their knees. "The master is a true god," they cried. A massive black sea of people bowed toward the east, thanking you for saving their lives. When the coalition army finally marched into Luoyang, this was the bizarre sight that greeted them. Homes were merely smoking, but the palace was reduced to ash. Yet, thousands of citizens knelt in the streets, bowing toward the east. A bewildered Cao Cao pulled someone aside to ask what happened. Returning with a complex look on his face, he shouted to Yuan Shao, "Ben Shu, these people are thanking the master. If not for him, we would be walking through a city of the dead today. He is truly divine." Yuan Shao was deeply moved, but Cao Cao's next words made his blood run cold. "Ben Shu, I went to find the master to invite him inside, but he told me to pass along a message." "What is it?" "The master said, please accept his condolences, Ben Shu." Yuan Shao's mind went completely blank. Letting out a gut-wrenching scream, his vision faded to black, and he fell headfirst off his horse. "Ben Shu!" Cao Cao gasped, rushing to support him. Right then, a scout bolted in. "Report. Grand Tutor Yuan Wei and the Alliance leader's entire household have been slaughtered by Dong Zhuo. Their heads are hanging at the east gate." Yuan Shao snapped awake. His eyes turned blood-red. Raging like a demon, he shoved Cao Cao aside. "Pass my command," he roared. "The entire army pursues west. At all costs, I want Dong Zhuo's head." Cao Cao grabbed him tightly. "Ben Shu, do not be reckless." Dong Zhuo was defeated, but his main force is intact. He tried to propose a strategic advance toward Chang'an, but after his initial explosion of rage, Yuan Shao fell into a bizarre, calculating silence. He had already won fame and power, risking his life against Dong Zhuo now, leading a pack of treacherous warlords. One slip-up, and he would lose everything. He hesitated. Seeing this, Cao Cao's passion turned to ice. Looking at Yuan Shao with deep disappointment, Cao Cao bowed. "Ben Shu, if you will not go, I will. I shall lead my own men to rid the world of this tyrant." He turned, riding off into a cloud of dust. Yuan Shao watched him leave, then gathered the remaining lords. Just as expected, nobody else wanted to fight. The pursuit of Dong Zhuo ended right there. Meanwhile, up on Hulao Pass, you were bathing in the glorious stream of system notifications. Ding! Helped Zhang San alter his destiny. Luck increased by 4. Ding! Helped Li Si Ding. Host's reputation upgraded to rising star. This single gamble had netted you a massive 50,000 luck points. Talk about a jackpot. Just then, An army marched beneath the pass, their banners bearing the name Sunday the Tiger of Jiangdong. Sun Jian. He did not know you, barely glancing your way. Perfect. It was time to test your newly upgraded reputation. You pulled out your familiar banner and called out, "Seek fortune, avoid disaster, ultimate insight into destiny, absolute predictions of fate." The cavalry ground to a halt. Sun Jian pulled his reins, staring at you in surprise. A fortune teller setting up a stall at Hulao Pass? This was no ordinary man. He signaled his guards to wait, then approached alone with a respectful bow. "I am Sun Wentai. May I ask the master for a reading?" "Without even raising your eyes," you muttered. 50 coins. Sun Jian paid without hesitation. Only then did you ask, "What are we reading?" "This march on Luoyang. Is it a blessing or a curse?" Your fingers tapped, slowly opening your eyes. A mysterious smile played on your lips. "General, your journey holds a massive blessing." However, your tone shifted sharply. "This is a fortune ordinary men cannot bear. When a cup overflows, fortune turns to disaster." Sun Jian burst out laughing. "A joke! I, Sun Wentai, stand tall. What fortune could I not bear?" You looked him in the eye, asking softly, word by word, "A treasure belonging to the emperor, can you bear that?" Disdain spread across Sun Jian's battle-scarred face. "A treasure of the emperor?" He snorted, his voice dripping with absolute contempt, as if he wanted to chew those words up and spit them out onto the ground. "So what? Does the emperor's clothing count? A strand of hair from the dragon bed?" Waving his hand, he grew more animated. "Am I, Sun Wentai, supposed to be trapped by a mere object? What a joke. If it truly brings doom, I will simply throw it away on the spot." You listened with a knowing, amused smile. "Sure, whatever you say. Just hope you do not regret those words. General, if you can truly do that, your life will be saved." Throwing down those words, you turned and walked away with grand mystery, your departing figure dripping with absolute authority. "Father," a white horse trotted up, ridden by a sharp-eyed young boy, Sun Quan. His gaze remained locked on where you had walked away. "Father, that man is no ordinary mortal. We cannot ignore his warning." Sun Jian remained silent, but he had clearly taken your words to heart. Yet, once they reached Luoyang, everything played out exactly as you foresaw. Treated like a fool by the scheming coalition lords, Sun Jian was sent to clear the ruined palace. But deep inside a well in those ash-filled ruins, his soldiers fished out a golden pouch. The moment they opened it, the radiant glow of an imperial seal nearly blinded them. "The imperial seal!" Sun Jian's breathing turned heavy and ragged, realizing this object represented the ultimate symbol of imperial power. The flames of raw greed erupted in his eyes. He instantly shoved the jade seal deep into his robes. The next morning, the real show began. "Alliance leader, I am unwell. I must return to Changsha first." Sun Jian approached Yuan Shao with his standard excuse. Yuan Shao looked at him, a cold smirk on his face. "What illness is that? Could it be the imperial seal disease?" Sun Jian's face froze instantly. He quickly denied it. Last night, in the well, Yuan Shao pressed harder, knowing the secret was out. Indeed, Sun Jian had been betrayed. Falling to one knee, he swore to the heavens, "If I am hiding the seal, may I die under a hail of arrows." Ruthless, yes. But Yuan Shao lacked hard evidence, so he brought out the informant for a confrontation. Suddenly, Sun Jian drew his blade. A flash of cold steel, and the informant's head rolled across the floor. "You believe the words of a rat who sells out his lord?" Glaring around with murderous fury, he stormed off with his men. Yuan Shao shook with rage, completely powerless. Meanwhile, behind him, Yuan Shu narrowed his tiny eyes, staring at Sun Jian's departing path with a cold, sinister grin. The Jiangdong army galloped away at full speed. "Father!" Sun Quan called out, catching up on horseback. His voice was tight with worry. "Have you forgotten what the master at Hulao Pass warned us? The emperor's treasure brings deadly doom." "Quiet!" Sun Ce snapped. Sun Jian whipped his horse's flank, speeding up. But the moment they reached Hulao Pass, the entire army froze. You were sitting there leisurely, waiting with your fortune-telling stall right at the gateway. Behind you, Dianwei loomed like an iron tower. You didn't even bat an eye as they approached, casually waving a showy feather fan. This picture of absolute calm was more terrifying than any threat. Sun Jian's horse slowed to a crawl, and he finally yanked the reins tight. Within seconds, beads of cold sweat broke out across the tiger of Jiangdong's forehead. Veteran generals like Cheng Pu and Huang Gai watched in utter disbelief. Finally, before the eyes of his entire army, Sun Jian dismounted. Striding forward, he dropped heavily to one knee before you. Master, your prediction was flawless. The Emperor's treasure you spoke of, I truly found it. You lazily opened one eye, giving him a flat glance. And did you throw it away like you promised? Well, Sun Jian's face flushed a deep, embarrassed purple. You chuckled, piercing straight through his defenses with a single sentence. The imperial seal of the state is easy to find, but near impossible to throw away. How did you know? Sun Jian shuddered in sheer shock. Master, please guide my father. Sun Si, reacting first, dropped to his knees beside his father. You stood up, slowly waving your feather fan as your gaze swept over them. Did your father also stand before the lords and swear that if he kept the seal, he would die under 10,000 arrows? Master, how on earth did you know even that? Sun Se's jaw hit the floor. Sun Jian felt completely exposed before you, as if he had no secrets left. You smiled warmly at Sun Se. Your father's reading is done. Since he refused to listen, I will say no more. However, as for your own path, I should read your future, lest you meet the exact same end as your father. Cut down by a hail of arrows. Another death by arrows? Sun Jian's eyes nearly bulged out of his head. Without a word, Sun Si offered a gold ingot with both hands. Master, please, who wants my father dead? Looking at the submissive Sun family, you sneered inwardly. Yuan Shu, you absolute clown. Just watch how I make you pay. Warlords should know better than to cross you. Back in the coalition camp, that idiot acted all high and mighty, even demanding to search your carriage. You remembered that debt perfectly. You spoke slowly, each word landing like a sledgehammer. The one out to destroy your father is Liu Biao of Jingzhou. Of course it is Liu Biao. Sun Jian gritted his teeth. They had a long-standing feud, so he believed you instantly. But then, your tone shifted. However, the only reason he knows that the seal is in your hands is because Yuan Shu secretly wrote to him, urging him to ambush and kill your father on his journey home. Sun Se unsheathed his sword, eyes burning red. Han Dang, Cheng Pu, and the others drew their blades in unison, their killing intent shaking the sky. We go back and slaughter Yuan Shu right now, Sun Se roared. Hold on, Sun Jian commanded with sudden chilling calm. A true man can wait 10 years for revenge. We bypass Jingzhou. We take the Huainan route back to Jiangdong. Once our army is rebuilt, we will settle this score. You nodded with quiet satisfaction. A wise choice, General. Farewell. You turned to leave. Please stay. The brothers Sun Se and Sun Quan pleaded, kneeling again. Sun Jian instantly caught on. They wanted to recruit you, a literal living legend, as their ultimate guardian angel. He bowed deeply. Master, if you do not mind, please, come with us to Changsha. We fear trouble on the road. You laughed heartily, waving your hand dismissively. No need. I have already altered General Sun's destiny. For now, disaster will not find him. You spoke with absolute confidence, because the system's voice had just chimed in your mind. Notification. Sun Jian's fate successfully rewritten. You just shifted the fates of Sun Se and Sun Quan. The system chimes in, congratulating you on earning 2,000 luck points. What a massive win. As you walk away coolly, the Sun family is left staring blankly at your back. Able to see through all things and rewrite destiny, could this man truly be a legendary master? Sun Jian wonders. Sun Jian mutters to himself, wishing you could join their family. Sun Se looks on with pure longing. Just then, young Sun Quan's eyes light up. He leans in and whispers in his father's ear, loud enough only for the two of them. Father, the master is so young and handsome, and he doesn't seem to have any women around. He must be unmarried. Why not betroth our little sister to him? Sun Jian freezes instantly, almost shouting. She is only 2 years old. Of course, you have no idea that the moment you walked away, a scheming little kid targeted you, setting up a childhood marriage. Right at that moment, you run straight into an oncoming army. 3,000 white horses cover the ground like pure snow. Leading them is Gongsun Zan, with Liu Bei, Guan Yu, and Zhang Fei following right behind. Master! Gongsun Zan calls out, bowing respectfully the moment he spots you. Even the notoriously proud Guan Yu bows his head in respect. Master, are you going to read my big brother's fortune again? Zhang Fei bellows, his dark face breaking into a wide, toothy grin. Yide, do not be rude. Liu Bei quickly scolds him. You smile slightly, looking at Gongsun Zan. Are you heading back to Yuzhou, General? Gongsun Zan nods, his eyes filled with anticipation, but you simply point to the carriage behind you. I am heading to Yuzhou as well. I hear the Black Mountain bandits are causing trouble in Hebei, so I was hoping to travel with you for protection. You have no interest in the messy affairs of Guangzhong right now. Zhongzhou, Yuan Shao, Gao, Cao, you have already added plenty of drama to their life scripts. Now, it is time to find a nice spot to watch the show unfold. Meanwhile, Cao Cao is facing his darkest hour. Leading 3,000 loyal soldiers to pursue Dongzhuo, he expected the other coalition lords to rally behind him. Instead, those coalition lords proved to be complete cowards. Caught in Dongzhuo's ambush, Cao Cao's 3,000 men were decimated, losing over half their numbers. He fled back to Hulao Pass in a miserable state, only for Yuan Shao to mock him the moment they met. Mengda, I told you there was an ambush, but you would not listen. Now look at you. So trying to rid the nation of a traitor is my fault? Yuan Shao, your family has enjoyed imperial favor for generations, yet you watched Dongzhuo escape without uttering a single word? And Yuan Shu, the master, was right. He is nothing but dry bones in a tomb. At this moment, Cao Cao's burning desire to restore the Han dynasty is completely snuffed out by his allies' selfishness and hypocrisy. He has officially crossed to the dark side. At the consolation feast Yuan Shao hosts for him, Cao Cao downs a massive bowl of wine, stands up, points directly at everyone in the room, and fiercely curses them all. You worthless fools are not worth planning with. He pushes past Yuan Shao, who tries to play peacemaker, and storms off with his battered troops. My lord, you were too harsh. I fear you have offended Yuan Shao. Shizukai whispers anxiously. No matter, Cao Cao mutters on horseback. Though heavily intoxicated, his eyes remain frighteningly sharp. Yuan Shao is weak-willed. I will write a letter and send some gifts, and he will treat me like a brother again. He pauses, shifting his focus to what truly matters. Where is the master? He just left the pass, seemingly traveling with Gongsun Zan. Cao Cao immediately whips his horse forward, galloping down the highway, waving his hand and shouting, Master! Master! Please wait! On your side, Liu Bei immediately grows suspicious, urging caution. Gongsun Zan's white horse volunteers instantly tense up and form a defensive line. Cao Mengde, what is your business here? Brother Bogey, do not misunderstand. Cao Cao calls out, his face still, carrying a trace of drunken mockery. He bows to you. I want to invite the master to join me in Dongjun. Looking at his miserable state, you speak plainly. Your pursuit of Dongzhuo failed. The master is indeed a divine seer. Cao Cao sighs bitterly, pulling out a piece of fine jade to hand to you. I am ashamed. I fought for the nation with all my heart, but ended up like this. Please, guide me. At least he is smart enough to pay up front. You accept the jade and turn to leave without a second glance. Under Cao Cao's bewildered gaze, your voice drifts back, reciting a hauntingly beautiful poem. The East has righteous men, raising armies to punish the evil. At first they met at Mengjin, their hearts set on Jianyang. But their forces were divided, hesitating in their tracks. Power drove them to compete, and they slaughtered one another. Brother claims a title in Huainan. A seal is carved in the north. White bones litter the fields. No roosters crow for 1,000 miles. The thought of it breaks my heart. Cao Cao freezes in his tracks. This poem captures the grim reality of the coalition and paints an even more terrifying picture of the future. What a brilliant poem, master, he gasps. You almost laugh out loud. Reciting his own poem to his face and being praised as a divine sage is an incredible feeling. Mengde, my words end here. Farewell. You wave your hand and disappear down the road with Gongsun Zan's army. Yet, Cao Cao remains standing there, repeatedly muttering those lines. Brother claims a title in Huainan. A seal is carved in the north. Suddenly, a terrifying thought strikes him, and he turns pale, whispering to Shizukai. Jikai, is the master warning us that we lords will tear each other apart? That someone will actually dare to declare themselves emperor? Shizukai's expression turns incredibly grim. My lord, the Central Plains are about to plunge into absolute chaos.